Well, that's an easy question, right? It really is, because my favorite movie is Danny DeVito's Matilda, 1996. This movie built my whole childhood. It was the only justification for reading books. Yes, I thought that I would gain perfect telekinesis by reading books and getting bullied by my family. And even though I owed $99 or more to my hometown's public library, and managed to get bullied by at least one family member. Hey, do you love me?
Hey.
I didn't get those powers in the end. So Matilda isn't my favorite movie anymore. And it hasn't been since 3rd grade. Between 3rd grade and 9th grade, I've been fighting with myself on what my favorite movie was. Maybe it's one of them films that indie production company Pixar Animation made. Maybe it's Disney's Ruby Bridges because I was obsessed with the civil rights movement when I was a woke 5th and 6th grader. Maybe it's Belle's Enchanted Christmas, which I premiered at one of my July birthday parties. Maybe it was Princess and the Frog, or Treasure Planet, or Let It Shine. Just something owned by my sweet, sweet mouse overlord. But sometime in 2019, after my 6th viewing, I decided that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was my favorite movie, and that Baby Driver was my 2nd favorite movie. But from then onwards, it's a mess. Trust me, I did a lot of switching around on my Letterboxd. I was finally content now that I had an answer to, what's your favorite movie? But when I ask my friends what theirs are, all I get is, I don't know. This question is, plot twist, really hard. There are just way too many movies out there for everyone to watch and rank. And you know what? Maybe the mouse is right. We need the same movies over and over again so that we don't have so many to choose from. Collect your $200, Mickey. We got you. And I got you, all my indecisive friends, strangers from the internet. It's not just my friends watching, right guys? I have figured out how to find your favorite movie without a BuzzFeed quiz, but with a Me-feed quiz. Me made it. Me made the quiz. Now, to clarify, this is for all my indecisive fans, so if you have no idea what your favorite film is because you've never watched a good film in your life, this ain't for you. Also, go watch these films, you'll find it there. So, in this video, I will go through how this quiz works, what it's for, how I made it, and some findings I discovered.
Let's go!
I tell this Google form how much favorite are your favorite movies. The goal of this quiz isn't finding your favorite movie by your personality or what you ordered at Denny's or whatever. The only real way to find your favorite movie is by watching a lot of good, or even ironically good, movies. So, to begin, you must have an array of movies that you're trying to rank. Or 2. Then, you take the quiz, establish a point total, and you can figure out which movie you truly like better. So I compiled 18 questions by using what I deem to be the most important elements of film viewing: story, which is plot, characters, writing/direction, visuals, sound, theme, and after the movie. In the story section, there are 3 questions. How much of the story do you remember? If you don't know what the story is about, then was it really that good? How much did the story entertain you? God forbid that a movie, a medium in the entertainment industry, did not entertain you. How do you feel for the story? Were you there for the ride? The story probably wasn't that engaging to you if you spent half the time on your phone. Now, for each of these questions, I assigned a range of numbers to score them based on how important I deemed them in the grand scheme of watching a movie. Entertainment is a huge factor, so I gave it a 0 to 10 scale. The story's content is basically a yes or no question, so I gave it a 0 to 2 scale. If it's your favorite, it should probably be a 2. But the story can sometimes be really confusing, so that's why I allowed a 1 if you really don't get it after your 3rd watch. Most of the scales are self-explanatory, but if there's a weird one, I'll explain my reasoning there or in the comment section. Anyway, we continue. Characters has only one question. How much do you relate to/feel for the characters? Were you rooting for the protagonist? It's really hard to like a movie if you don't like the protagonist, as the world quite literally revolves around them. This question also goes for acting. The characters should feel real by the way that they are, well, acting. how much did you laugh? I debated on including this one. Some movies just aren't made for laughing with or at. It's more like how much did you smile or have good feelings? You know, the good chemicals. How much did you cry, yell, or talk at the screen? I think it's always good if a movie elicits an emotional response out of the audience. An expression of sadness and anger are always a good sign of really good writing. Talk at is just for the people who are taking this for a movie with ironic enjoyment. Did the writing bring you in or out? How immersed were you through the writing? If someone is good at their job, then it should bring you in most of the time. You should feel like the words or actions are actually being said by that character. Did the visuals bring you in or out? Like the last one, the setting has to feel real or at least lived in. The editing should be coherent and bring you into the story smoothly. The colors should match the mood, and the framing should help you feel like you're in the world. Did you enjoy the aesthetic of the visuals? Now, this is what I call a bonus question, because sometimes you just really like things, and sometimes they're just not your thing. I just think that your favorite movie should have your favorite things. Was the soundtrack and/or score good? Did it fit? I love the score and soundtrack of Spider-Verse, but sometimes them sad songs didn't fit, so it got points off overall for that. Did the sound effects or music bring you in or out? Like the last two in or out questions, sound mixing and sound design, as it turns out, are very important people who complain about the Oscars being too long. Good sound mixing should make you feel like if you close your eyes, you'd be there. A good score should make your heart swell as the music swells. Did you enjoy the aesthetic of the audio? Another bonus one. Did you like it? Is it your cup of tea? Honestly, I don't know about the point value of this one. I think it's just that I don't think films are as creative with their audio as they are their visuals. Do you agree with or understand the theme or message of the movie? Kind of a bonus. It's just me asking whether you actually like what the movie is saying. Are you content with the ending of the film? It's honestly quite sad if a really good movie leaves you unsatisfied. An ending can literally make or break a movie. If a good movie has an unsatisfying ending, then it kind of ruins the rest of your movie. These are the most important questions for determining your favorite movie. Would you recommend it to others? Hopefully, the answer is always closer to a 10 out of 10. If not, I'm sorry. Did you look up behind the scenes footage? Respect the artistry. Do you talk or think about it often? Letting everyone know that you like a movie means that it's probably your favorite. And finally, what I think is the most important question. Is it rewatchable? Would you watch it again? Could you watch it over and over and over and over and over again and never retire? Now, a friend of mine thought it wasn't so important, and I really thought it was, and I have a great example of it. I really like The Incredibles. It is very good. And I also like Incredibles 2, but I do not think that it is nearly as good as the first one, because I can never see myself watching it again. It is, say, my favorite of the two because of how much I have watched it already and my tolerance for watching it again. Incredibles 2, ironically, is just a one and done movie, so it is not my favorite. So that's the whole quiz. Does it work? Maybe. I don't know. I used my top 4 list on Letterboxd to test it. Now, for reference, here's how the score works. If it's below 52, I'm telling you, you did not like the movie one bit. If it's below 84, the movie was good, but you should probably find a movie better suited for your tastes. The highest possible score is 110. If you get 110, you've found a film, or even multiple films, that are perfect for you. You've found your soul film. But to clarify, you did not find the best movie. Not the goal here. Now, for my results, Spider-Verse got me a solid 102 out of 110. Baby Driver was a high but far behind 94. La La Land was a 95. So, I was wrong all along. I actually like La La Land more than Baby Driver. And to me, that actually feels kind of right, especially with how close they are in score. However, things fell apart with Coco here, where I only got 85 out of 110. But when tested against my 5 other Pixar favorites, Inside Out was my real favorite Pixar movie, which I'm quite ashamed of, as it's probably the kiddiest out of all the 5. But ultimately, it fell apart when I put it with the rest of my favorites. It got a stunning 98 out of 110, but I wouldn't say that this movie comes close to La La Land or Baby Driver in favorites. So, what does that mean? My whole quiz is a sham? Am I banned from the National Film Science Association? Maybe, but I think it just means that this quiz is just a tool to help, not really a tool for an answer. So, in the end, I think you should try it. Follow along this video and calculate your own score, or fill in the Google form so that I can collect some data on some favorites. I'll also list the questions in the description if that helps. But before you go, I have one question. What's your favorite movie? Don't answer yet. Go find it. Go!
These are a few of my favorites.